Jesus, it smells like a damn gasoline refinery in here. What are you two girls doing? Yeah, sure. Swapping gas. That's what they all say. It's got to air out in here. I can't work like this. All right, what's up, guys? It's Slick. It's Friday night. Gotta get the Panhead up in that garage on that table. So I gotta get the Triumph off in order to get that Panhead in here. So let me just hand off the camera to my Friday night cameraman, Dirty Dave. Ed, come in here. Ed, hey Doodoo. You messed up, man. You should have took me up on that offer to be my cameraman up here in New Jersey. You messed up. Dave, tell him about the perks.
Tons of perks, man. You're missing out. I get everything.
Just keep it on me. Like, I'll edit all this stuff out.
Right.
Stand, like, you know, I'm gonna ride it right off. You know. She always bottoms out. So the old British girl. She don't have to go home, but she can't stay here. All right, I'm gonna shut off the camera because now it's too dark right there. Let's watch it back, see what we got. Okay, welcome back, males and females, because of course that's all there is. So I got the Triumph off the table. Old Black Betty there, she's winning the Poconos camping trip poll by 52%, which I will show you guys. Everybody that voted, thank you for that. As you can see, old Black Betty in the middle there, 52%. The dirt bike was a close runner up there. But you know what? I've had that dirt bike in other videos and no one cared to watch those videos. So I just assumed it was about the dirt bike and dirt bike riding. It's not what you guys are here for. Anyway, I got the Triumph off the table. But for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it's the old Honda 650L dirt bike. Yeah, I want to apologize. I'm just waking up from Saturday morning. I went to bed. I've been pushing it really hard once again throughout the work week, and then after work, wrenching on bikes. So I've been pushing myself really hard. And I slept from Saturday to Sunday afternoon, and I wake up to Hippie's Chopper Corner video. I don't know, he was talking about giving away his red 64 Panhead in a giveaway this week. I don't know, you'll have to go over there and check it out. But anyway, let me get into the Panhead. Look how pretty she is, guys. But we'll get into that in a second. Let me put this camera down and sit down somewhere. Okay, now we're all set up. Let's go over the 64 Panhead here. My buddy Vic wanted me to get it started and get it running right. He has a couple other issues. It wasn't running right for him when he had it running right, then he couldn't get it started towards the end. So he wants me to go over a few things. But before we get into the problems on the Panhead, let's look at how pretty she is. Let me give you a real close-up look of her. All right. As you've seen in that Friday night time lapse I did, I gave her the real quick slick head, real quick cheap detail job, because I don't like working on nice pretty bikes that are all dirty. You know what I mean? It's one thing if it was an old dirty bike, but this girl deserves a little better than that. You know, she's pretty. So, you know, I hit the windshield with just soapy warm water because you don't want to put any harsh chemicals to the windshield. The paint's beautiful. This was a repaint back in the 90s, I think Vic told me. Back in the early 90s, it was repainted. Could be wrong. Could have been in the 80s, but don't quote me on that. But it's pretty nonetheless. Hit the bags with a little simple green. She is sexy. I'm not a big windshield guy, but if I had this bike, I would leave it alone. It is perfect. Everything's there. All original. Mostly original. There are things that are not original on it, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. Who cares? It's beautiful. Just like my old girl here. She's not all original, but she's beautiful. I love you, girl. But anyway, let's get into this side. She's just as sexy. Got the old mouse trap on her. I dig this little choke mechanism. All right, so let's get into some of the things he wants me to go over. All right. He did mention the horn wasn't working, so I'm going to get in. I'm going to look at that for him. He wanted me to go over the timing, time the bike right, set the points, pull the carburetor, clean the carburetor, Then once I have it up and running, I got to fine tune in the carburetor. But so with that said, I'm going to start, I'm going to start with baseline readings. I'm going to time it, see where it's at, see where the points gap is already set, see where the baseline is right now. See if it's wrong or right at this moment. Got to pull this, I believe it's an M74. Yeah, it's an M74, which Panheads have on them, linkered. Like mine's an M51 for 1940. But, Vic gave me some manuals. Gave me the old Panhead service manual. And I went through this service manual already, and it's everything that my flathead service manual. They didn't change much as far as setting up the carburetor, setting up the timing, setting the points. It remains the same all the way through the years with the rigid frame. Well, this isn't a rigid frame. This has got a swing arm, but you know what I mean. It all remained the same, pretty much the same. So it is still a good idea. You want to have yourself a manual. I'm just not going to base everything off of my flathead like it's going to be exactly the same. I will refer to the manual, any little step I take. Let's see what else has to be. This thing, the carburetor's leaking fuel like a son of a biatch. It's getting all over everything. That'll get addressed when I take apart the carburetor. What else is going on? So look at these cool old it's like megaphone. These are just tips that you bolt on here to the mufflers. But look at these cool old megaphones, and look, they're like one's sticking out like way further than the other one. So I'll get that straightened up for him. As I said, the horn has an issue. Not a big one, but I'm going to pull off the timing plug and, get the bike jacked up, rear wheel in the air, and go through the timing. See what it's set at now, and then set it better if it needs to be. So my initial thoughts when he said this thing isn't running right and could I go over the timing and points and everything for him. When I was at his garage picking this bike up, we were looking at all these lights on it. All these lights, and that's when a alarm bell started going off in my head. Because I know he told me it was a 6-volt, still a 6-volt system. So when I seen all these accessories, that's when flags went off. That could be part of the problem. And I'm going to bet you that probably is part of the problem. If it's drawing too much voltage from the battery and you dip down to a low enough voltage, the ignition system's not going to work right. In my flathead with the electronic ignition system, it says this is a 6-volt system. The directions on that say if you dip below, it'll run all the way down with no problems. It'll run all the way down to 5.2 volts. You dip under that, the bike will obviously not run right. The timing will be all screwed up. The ignition will go nutty on you, so it won't run right. So I suspect with all these accessory lights and things on this 6-volt system, because usually when guys put a whole bunch of bullet lights on the back of these things, they convert the 6-volt system over to a 12-volt. That's typically what I see. Now, don't quote me. I'm not an expert. But I'm going to go over the voltage and test the battery out. I even have a load tester and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go over that as well, because I suspect that's where the bulk of the problem lies with this bike. So we'll see. I could be wrong, because I'm wrong about a lot of things. So that's that. That's what I'm going to start getting into with this bike. I'm going to start with, I probably will start with the battery voltage right away, but I'm going to do the timing, like I said, jack the wheel up, go over the timing marks, the points, set the points, carburetor, pull the carburetor, clean it up, and then we'll fire it up and go take it for a test ride. That'll make for some good videos. She is so pretty. I'm dying to ride it. Dying to ride this thing. And then he knows, then he has that 57 45-inch flathead he wants me to get started. That one he just says it's going to need some carburetor cleaning and tuning. So I could do that real quickly, but he keeps dangling that one over my head because he knows I want to get my hands on it real bad and play around with it. He says, well, you got to fix this one first before you can touch the flathead. And I was like, damn it. So I'm on it. Going to get this one running like a kitten, purring like a kitten. And then let's get on to that flathead. Because one day he's selling both of me these bikes. He doesn't know that yet, but Vic is going to sell me both of these bikes. And they'll be in good hands. So, and anytime he wants to look at them or come give them a ride, I'll let him do that. So he's going to sell them to me. Thanks, Vic. But I also wanted to say that this is going to be my last video I'm going to put out for the next week and a half, because I don't have any time to film and edit videos and get my camper and all my camping gear, my bikes and everything else all prepped to go out to our annual fall Poconos camping trip. So this will be the last video. I'm going to take a week off, go camping. I'm going to film out there camping, like I said. It looks like Black Betty's going to win that survey. So that's who will go camping with me. Sorry to the guys that want the dirt bike, but the dirt bike no one ever even wants to watch it when I put out dirt bike videos. I did a camping video with the dirt bike in it. No one cared. So that scares me off from filming anything with it. So just going to take a quick little break. I will be able to film a little bit of bike stuff because I'm going to dip into this while I'm prepping for the camper. When I get an hour or two break, I'll jump on this. I'll film it. I just won't be able to put it out this week. You know what I mean? I got to get through this whole camping adventure, and then I'll be right back at it. So you guys won't miss me too much. All right, that's it. I'm going to end this video here. And you guys have a good time. Enjoy this old beauty. Cannot wait to give her a ride. She is gorgeous. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. What a dork.